Dooby. Okay, we're live, so I will play a quick intro, and then I will do the sponsor announcements, and then we'll have a conversation. Cool? Cool. Okay, here we go. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening to all you awesome listeners out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast, brought to you by Grow Clinton, a small nonprofit economic development, community development, and tourism organization located on the eastern side of the great state of Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi. My name, as always, is Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton, and usually I say I'm joined by Jenny Home. What's happening? But Jenny is feeling a little under the weather today, so she is staying home, which makes sense. There's a bug going around or something. But no Jenny today, so I am rolling solo with Karla today. That's very exciting stuff. Before I introduce Karla, I want to thank our sponsors. Mic check. This mic sounds awesome, courtesy of Citizens First Bank. The Grow Clinton podcast has been hooked up with new mics, proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank. Banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank. Member FDIC. Adcraft Printwear and Sully Sports. Sully's coming soon along Mill Creek Parkway here in Clinton. But Adcraft's been around since 1974. Over the years, they've grown from just a small family-run business serving Clinton, Iowa, to a cutting-edge operation that serves teams and companies all over the United States. For all of your custom printwear needs, visit adcraftusa.com. Again, that's adcraftusa.com. The Grow Clinton podcast is powered by Miles Communications. High-speed fiber internet, folks. It's wicked fast. It ensures our broadcast is crisp, clear, and consistent. Miles offers residential and commercial internet services, as well as television and telephone. If they are not in your neck of the woods, they are coming soon. Look them up, milestelephone.com. Again, milestelephone.com. And quick shout out to Lyondell Basell, LYB, as you find them on the stocks. They will be sending me a script here shortly to read, but we want to thank them in advance for their sponsorship. We have in the studio, Karla Burn. Karla is the marketing director at Resthave Care and Rehabilitation. Karla, thank you so much for joining us on the Grow Clinton podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Got to talk to that mic there. There we go. So, Karla, tell us a little bit about Resthave. What is it? Where is it? What's it all about? What should we know about?
Okay, I could talk forever about Resthave.
There you go.
So we are located in Morrison, Illinois. We have started out in 1961 was when we had our first resident. So we're an assisted living and nursing and skilled nursing. So skilled care, long-term care, short-term care to get you back home if you break a hip or something. Mm-hmm. So we've been established since 1961. We were started by soup suppers and fundraising such as that with our local churches. Okay. Our local churches still own us.
And they make up, representatives from those churches make up the board still, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So in 2012, we started a project and did a big addition. So that's when we were able to accommodate the Medicare skilled care piece of it. We built a whole 70-bed unit, brand new nursing care. So we're really glad to be able to serve our residents and families with that new addition. We have always been so community-oriented. The community started us. We want to give back to the community. So since that big addition occurred, we're much more able to serve the community. They come in and they can use different conference rooms if they'd like. We have tons of fun, huge events. We're just very community-oriented.
Now, what's the difference between assisted living and skilled care?
Okay. So assisted living is more independent.
Okay.
We're there to help with whatever needs you have, but you're able to pretty much come and go as you like. Some of our residents are driving. Maybe you can't get dressed in the morning, but we can get you dressed and you're off and running, and then we can help you to bed at night. So it just depends on those needs. So that's more of an independent piece of it. Nursing, long-term care nursing, of course, is long-term, just like it says. You're struggling a little bit more with health issues. And then the Medicare skilled care is if someone breaks a hip, God forbid, we're there to help them.
And that's for like a shorter duration.
Rehab and get home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. One of my favorite things about Resthave is that we are able to do that continuum of care. So if someone comes in, mom and dad come in, they start out in assisted living, something happens, like dad falls, he needs to go to nursing and get some rehabilitation. He can always come back to the assisted living, or if not, he can stay in nursing, mom can stay in assisted living, and they're still there together under one roof. One of my favorite things with our couples is they're so devoted to each other. Most of them have been together 60 plus years.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's so cute. And they really need each other, and they thrive on that. So, dad can go down and kiss mom in the nursing area, or they can still have dinner, and, they get to say goodnight to each other. So they're still in one building. So that's one of my most favorite things.
That is cool to witness those long-serving relationships between two people who's loved each other for decades. It always makes me like watching that movie Up, that Pixar movie. That always makes me sad when the guy's just sitting there staring at the picture of his wife, and he kind of lost his direction in his own life and didn't know what to do. And I've experienced that with my own grandparents, but to be able to be co-located in the same facility and receive different levels of care, that's amazing. Very cool.
We're very fortunate. We're very, very blessed to be able to do that for our residents and families.
And I'm assuming like medication management, that's all included as well.
Absolutely. Yep.
I need that in my life. I have some, because I have to get my medication filled through the VA, and some of my meds require to be refilled every month. I can't get multiple refills. So I have to just watch them and count my pills, and then I always mess up. And then I go to fill my little pill box in the morning. I'm like, uh-oh. And they hate me at the pharmacy at the VA because I'm like, can you overnight that, please? Because I'm going to be running out. So medication management's very important. Now, what size of apartments? What's the kind of makeup of the living area?
So the living area, you walk into a little kitchenette area. You have a micro fridge and freezer. You don't have a stove or oven or anything, but there is an area that if they want to bake or they want to cook a meal, sometimes we have families that grill out and cook a meal right there, have it together. But you walk into a little area for the kitchenette and then continue on to a living room. And then either left or right, you're going to turn into a bedroom, good-sized bedroom. We have 3 apartments for couples down there. The bathroom is really kind of nice. Walk-in shower. There's a seat there. If they need the seat, they can get assistance with showers, which is really nice because that's one of the biggest safety issues. As an elderly person, you'll see you fall and get hurt in the shower.
I remember my grandparents had the really high toilet seat. I love that thing. Even as a kid, I was like, this is easy, man. I just spring back up. Don't have to worry about you have to bend my knees. This is great.
Unless you're a little old lady that needs a little shorter.
My grandmother was tiny. Yes. No, that's great. And then where exactly are you located in Morrison?
Okay, so we're at 408 Maple Avenue. Okay. So if you're coming into Morrison from Clinton and you take a right on 78, kind of follow 78 as you're going to go out of town, but instead take a left on Maple. Our neighbor to the east is actually a cornfield, which is kind of nice because we're rural America out there. Yeah. We have so many farmers and people that grew up on the farm. So they enjoy seeing what's happening, what time of season it is. I remember when we were moving from the old building to the new building, everyone was able that was at Resthave was able to choose a room of where they wanted to be located, and you'd be surprised at how many of them wanted to be looking at the cornfield. There's
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
them that wanted to be looking at the church or the neighborhood, so it
Mhm.
looked like their neighborhood. But there were a lot of them that really wanted to kind of see what was going on.
I always look for deer. That's my thing.
Yep,
is I
yep.
always look out there for deer. How does the cost structure work within Resthave? Because we've interviewed individuals representing other similar style
hmm
homes or centers or care units. Somebody comes in, they want to either bring their parents in or they themselves are coming in to look around. What can they expect?
As far as cost,
Sure.
Um, in the assisted living is going to cost less than what the nursing site is. Of course, you don't have as many cares. Healthcare, unfortunately, is quite pricey. One of the things we kind of pride ourselves on is we don't do a lot of add-ons.
Mm,
So some of the facilities will add on, depending. Like my mom's at a home, they'll add on for comorbidities or her diagnoses, what she
mhm.
has for a diagnosis. They'll kind of add on for that, or they'll add on if you're going to eat in your room. There's just little pieces
Right.
where Resthave really cut that out and really
So
tries
what
to
you
just
see is
give.
what you get.
Yeah, it's not a bunch of add-ons, and
Okay.
that's really nice. So you know where you stand right away. We do comparisons with other homes in our area, and Resthave is maybe a little high, but real kind of in the center.
Okay.
We do pretty good trying to keep that. Um, Public aid or financial assistance is available in nursing,
Mm,
which is very helpful. We take both private pay, of course, and public aid. And we do a little bit of charity in our assisted living. Assisted living is not eligible for financial aid, public aid, simply because the licensing isn't there.
yeah.
The state hasn't opened that licensing, so it would have to be private pay in our assisted living. And then skilled care, Medicare will oftentimes pay a good chunk for Medicare. Depends on what the insurance is and what the insurance coverage is. So,
Do you have any really outgoing individuals there?
oh yeah,
I
we
just
have a
remember that
blast.
my grandfather was in an assisted living facility in his later part of his life, and he used to just cruise around in his little scooter. And this was a multi-story facility, and the ladies would sit out on their little terrace, and they would either be crocheting or tending to their tomato plants, and he would ride around on a scooter and serenade them from the parking lot. And I just remember they were all so outgoing, like they'd hear you walking down the hall, and everybody had their doors propped open so that you could come and go and say hi.
Absolutely. We've had several residents like that, especially in assisted living, but also in nursing. Couple of stories I can tell you. We have our wine party group that they have apartments near each other, and there's a little sitting area that they go when they meet. They have their little snacks on Friday and different kind of wine tasting going on. There was a tornado drill one night, and everyone went out in the hallways. You have to stay in the
Mm.
hallways. We take chairs out there, and they sit and chat. Well, the one little lady had to get up, and she goes, "Oh, I'll be right back." And she goes running into her room, and she
Mm.
comes out with a couple bottles of wine and
Oh,
paper
there you go.
glasses
That's how you
so
deal
that
with
they
it.
can enjoy it. Yeah, so they have a lot of fun like that. We have another gentleman that is just a blast. He puts on hats during our Mother's Day tea, and he gets in line to get his picture taken with his hat and
Yeah, that's
with the
fun.
ladies, and it just a lot of fun stuff they do. We have a woman, if you go to our Facebook page, there's a video, and she was playing a game competition with one of our staff. And what happened with her is it shows the video, and I say on the till the end.
Hmm.
And so she's competing, and she's so excited she wins, and she just lets out a real loud
Oh
hoot.
yeah.
And a lot of times residents, I'm not sure, have that much energy, but it was a blast. It
Yeah,
was
I
a lot of
remember
fun.
my grandfather's place. Bingo was a big deal. You
Yep,
did not mess around
still
with
is.
bingo, and you did
Yep,
not, even if they had to go to the bathroom, it was like an ordeal because somebody had to watch their cards. And
yep,
yeah, I
yep.
love that. That's just so cool that people have that sense of community. How many veterans do you have in your?
We have a lot of veterans. I did
Yeah.
not count them before I left. I know at one time recently, We had the Daughters of the American Revolution come in, bring shirts
Nice.
in. I believe we had 16 a couple months ago. We are VA contracted. So we
Good.
do get a lot of veterans in there. There's a lot of homes that are able to give some benefits or cost cutting through the VA, but not like Resthave. So almost all veterans, if you've served at all, you have to go through a whole process with the
Right.
VA. It's pretty complicated, but
Always is. Never easy.
but if you're a veteran and you're at end of life, you can use our hospice suite. There's no cost whatsoever, and then plus the just the normal assistance that we give, with being VA contracted, gives
Yeah.
them additional benefits that way
You
as
guys
well.
doing anything for Veterans Day coming up?
Absolutely, we always do something. We do oftentimes we'll do a pinning every other year, every third year. I think it's every third year we do a big outdoor, if we can get outdoor, if it's nice
Yeah.
enough. Sometimes we do it at the 4th of July. We do a veterans and first responders pinning.
Very
And so
cool.
we've got the police and the ambulance and the fire department and the mayor and all of those come and honor our veterans as well. We've got pretty cool pictures up on our webpage and on Facebook with our veterans.
Yeah, just amazing. I mean, the World War II vets, they're going quickly. Very few left locally here. We just lost a gentleman by the name of Henry Langer in Clinton, who was a decorated World War II vet, wrote a book called Whatever It Took, and he's got an amazing story, and then he died at 100.
Oh, wow.
So we recognized him. He's actually up on our Freedom Rock on Riverfront here in Clinton, right by the showboat. There's a large boulder that's a gentleman goes around all 99 counties in Iowa and paints something that's significant to the community. So we have a Medal of Honor recipient that was from Clinton, and then Henry faces the west and is rendering a salute in the photo. So that was
Very
a
cool.
cool way to capture that. But I always love, back home, it's actually really cool. My mom and I talk every morning when I go on my walk. I call her, she's back in Pennsylvania. So I catch her before she goes to the gym, but she was telling me about a high school student who created a graduation project where he's been traveling around Pennsylvania interviewing World War II veterans and capturing their story on audio so that he can archive it for not only the family, but he saves it for just reference material, because when it's gone, it's gone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Right. I believe in the state of Illinois, where Resthave is located, of course, you can send it into the state library, the Lincoln Library, one of the libraries, and they will archive it as well. Any interviews with the vets that you do. So
I always enjoy, I mean, from the people that I've engaged in Kiwanis Club and Rotary, anytime there's somebody that's creeping up there, you want to just sit down with them and say, hey, what have you been exposed to? What did you go through? What's your life story? Because it's amazing the different things that you hear. Just like the other day, I was talking to a bunch of high school students, and the superintendent of Clinton Community School District is a retired full-bird colonel from the Army National Guard. And he came into the classroom real quick just to do something, saw me sitting there talking to the kids. He was like, oh, how'd you get in here? Kind of joking with me. And then on the way out, I said, all right, see you, Colonel. And the kids went, what did you call him? I said, Colonel. They said, well, why did you call him that? I said, he's a retired full-bird colonel from the Army National Guard. And I kind of told a little bit of a story. It's for him to tell, but the kids' just jaws were hanging open, like they just thought he was another teacher bebopping around in a sweater vest. Right. They didn't realize that he donned a uniform for 20 plus years. So capturing that information is vital.
It is vital. There's a saying I love that's something about for every older person that passes, a library is lost. The wealth of information they have and how they've lived, especially the older people. And what they did for this whole community, our whole United States, and the infrastructure and everything that they've done.
Everything. I mean,
it's pretty impressive.
My grandfather, when I was joining the military, he would always start telling me stories. He never really opened up about his experience in the military. He was in the Army until I enlisted, and then he would share things with me. Much to my mother's disappointment, he told me a lot of stories of him being drunk and missing his bus in Italy and the train and waking up on a bench and his whole platoon was gone and he had to figure out how to get back to base. And she's like, don't tell him those stories. Tell him something else. But that's the stuff you remember, you know?
Right.
Good times. But yeah. What else do you want us to know? Are you guys open for tours? If somebody wants to come in, do they need to schedule anything or just pop by?
If you want a very thorough tour. You might want to schedule it, but absolutely, we encourage you to walk in as well. You might wait a few minutes just because we're
Sure.
grabbing someone. Meal times are a good time to come and see what it's all about, but it's also a really busy time.
Yeah.
So,
What's on
but
the menu?
our dietary department is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Our dietary manager does the Mother's Day tea, and you should see the decadent desserts and how bright, beautiful she makes them. And we're famous for cookies that we have that she makes, that she, county fair award winning
Wow.
blue ribbon cookies. But they also go out of their way to do a lot of really nice things. I would never want the dietary manager's job. Everyone has grown up different with different kinds of food and different
Hmm.
taste buds. So you're not going to please everyone all the time, but we get a lot of positive reviews about our food. So, and we do ask our residents, what are you wanting? And that might be anything from Italian beefs to they might want to eat out at Pizza from Happy Joe's,
Yeah.
or,
Very cool.
a salad and soup for, during the summer. So we really try to get our residents to open up and give us
Yeah,
ideas as
that's
well.
very neat. Yeah, what a great little community. I know whenever I visit a facility like yours, it's just the smells that come out of there. It's just so inviting, and it's home cooking.
Right.
And unless you're my grandfather, he was a big fan of making his own Brussels sprouts, which penetrated the entire facility with the
Yes,
smell of
it
cooked
does.
Brussels sprouts.
Yep.
And you'd be like, walk in and be like, oh, he's doing it again. And then he'd be down there singing in the hallway and Brussels sprouts. Yeah, he was quite the character. So,
And at Resthave, we do that with the liver and onions. Some of our
mm,
residents just love liver and
I
onions,
love
but
liver and
man, through
onions.
the
Yeah.
whole facility, you can really, what they're
Yep,
making that
and it
day. So,
lingers. It hangs out. Well,
mhm.
Karla, thanks so much for showing up on the podcast. Again, folks, if you're listening and you want to research more about Resthave, that is resthave.org is their website. Again, resthave.org, offering assisted living, nursing care, and skilled nursing. You got a great website. You can learn more there. And then if you want to cruise on over to Morrison and take a tour, I encourage you to do so. I love the little town of Morrison.
It's a nice town.
Original Taco is my favorite because I go there on a Monday night and crush. I think they got like a BOGO, buy one, get one type thing going on Monday nights. And I love it. It's very cool. Then you got a really cool bar down there called Heroes. It's
Yeah.
very first responder, military focused. And I didn't even know it existed for a while because my daughter dances there on the main drag at
Oh,
Jennifer's
okay.
dance
Yeah,
studio.
yeah.
Which is sad because Jennifer announced that she is leaving.
Oh,
Her husband received a new place of employment, a job opportunity, and he has already left, I believe. And my daughter's been there since she was like 6.
oh, my kids went there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we love it. We really love Jennifer and my daughter. I'm sad for her because she'll be going into her junior year next
Oh,
year, and she'll miss
no.
her senior dance.
She
And
will.
so that's kind of tough. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to do after that? Jennifer leaves. She goes, well, Dad, I dance because of Jennifer. I don't love dance. I just love being around Jennifer because
Oh,
she's so
very
happy go
cool.
lucky. So,
Yeah, Morrison. I grew up in Clinton, as did my husband,
mhm.
but we're now transplanted to Morrison. My kids are there; they're getting established there, except for one's in Springfield. So it's a nice town, very family
Yeah.
oriented.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do like it. A lot of cool things. You just got to kind of navigate around there and do some research. But
Hmm.
I really enjoy like the side or where there's the paint the
Paint the
street,
town.
paint the town thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
really cool. I look forward to that every year. But you got a lot of neat things going there. Some new restaurants down there. Double G Saloon, I see. There's the Brick Block Pub.
Yep.
That's really cool. So if you haven't been to Morrison lately, go and check it out. They got a lot of cool things going on in their downtown, so it's going to be pretty neat. And I did hear through the grapevine that Highway 30 going through Morrison is going to become 3-laned.
It is.
It's going to have a lane either direction and a dedicated
Yes.
turn lane. That's pretty
I
impressive.
think that's starting either the end of 26 or 2027, and that will make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Even the looks. I mean, it really needs Highway 30 through there is pretty
Well,
pretty
yeah.
rough, but
Well, that and then too, if you got all those tractor trailers coming from the Walmart distribution center and just coming off I-88, coming on 30, they get stuck there at those intersections and a light change pretty quick at like Cherry Street. and it gets backed up.
You know Morrison pretty good.
Yeah. I try to get around, Karla. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. We'll continue to make these episodes. Remember, if you are a member of Grow Clinton, this is your benefit. This is part of your investment package. You can come on the Grow Clinton podcast and share everything you want about your business, service, or whatever it is, your organization. Reach out to the audience. Be sure to leverage our contacts. If you want to sign up for a date to record a podcast, get in touch with Jenny Holm. That's JHOLM at growclinton.com. As always, my name's Andy Sokolovich. I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay classy. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.